Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we were just trying out our shiny new composition in the last episode, and I feel like it went pretty well. I also feel like what it didn't do is really show off the strength of the artillery. We got the artillery in anti-air mode, but it didn't really show off what the artillery will be able to do in certain circumstances. It's a more flexible situation, for sure. Now, we have some repairs to do here, and we're just going to tick forward and get those completed. All of those should be done before we hit our next month tick, and that is absolutely great. Yep, looks good. Let's double check our mech bay, make sure that there's nothing that needs additional repairs. Looks absolutely great. We're going to hop into the barracks here and get any mech warrior training that we need done. Okay, it didn't take the click. There we go. Now let's see what we've got going on here. Looks like a point of piloting for Gorgon seems reasonably fine. What else do we have here? Anybody? Yes, actually, Rook can get a point of gunnery or tactics. I feel like he's a sniper artillery pilot. Jamming isn't really a problem for us. I feel like sensor roll is what we need. So tactician is probably going to be ideal here. So we'll take that. For Savarok, nothing else. For Squire, we can grab a point of tactics. That'll be fine. And then for Weasel Cakes, nothing at all. Okay, let's hop into the command center and see what we've got to do here. So, I kind of... Ooh, that looks intense. Very intense. An Overlord-class dropship on final approach? Yeah, I don't think we're prepared for this. They want us to fight a dropship with our mechs? They have to be kidding. Are they paying us enough for this? No, they are not. This is only 2.1 million. We can make more money not fighting the dropship. So we're not going to do that. This is a very, very, very bad idea. If this is still available when we're going to end the series, this would be a good thing to do. But, we should expect significant losses from this. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm interested in potentially running something... This is not much payment for a recovery mission. Okay, this is a battle mission versus Comstar. So that's a lot of enemies, probably. This is a planetary government. A defend base against planetary government seems decent. The Steiners already like us a lot. So there is that. There's no free priority salvage here. We could go right down the middle. What other options are there? Ambush convoy for the local pirate organization. Who's the op for here? Planetary government. I mean, it's not a lot of payment. And then there's this capture base. This is the Davians versus the Steiners. We could definitely boost our Davian opinion, and we would lose some Steiner opinion, but that's probably fine. We'd run this right down the middle. I think this is okay. Let's do this. So we're going to run this as we did in the last episode. And let's see what we've got. Darius thinks it'll be hard, which is a good sign. Let's see what we've got. I'll see you guys after the loading screen. Well, as far as loading times go, that wasn't too bad. So let's hop right on in here and let's see what we're up against. It could be a lot, and we'll see. We're here to capture a Steiner military outpost, and this is kind of an awkward angle. Bad visibility with heavy rain. Yeah, this angle is definitely awkward. I would not want to spawn down here. Not that we could. This angle might shield us from some turrets. There's a turret here, a turret here. There's probably other turrets around. Yep, one here and one here. Okay. So that's reasonably fine. I think spawning at the recommended location makes sense. There's likely units down here. This is the edge of the map. This is a fairly safe place to spawn. So we could spawn right up over this way. Use this cover and take these turrets using this hill as a cover for our approach. I think it's reasonably good. And then if there are units down here, we have the height advantage. Okay, so we see a unit here and here, for sure. They're very close. So this is a Jaeger. Fascinating. This is a Hunchback, okay, and that's a Marauder down the hill. We also end up seeing a Calliope, a railgun turret, heavy command bunker, and a heavy UAC turret. Okay, so that railgun turret we want to eliminate without giving it LOS, ideally. So our archer is not going to move first. Our crossbow is. Oh, hello. That's a Grand Dragon right there. Noted. Okay, so our crossbow is going to move up over to here and be in cover. Okay. Our crossbow X is, for the time being, going to position right out over this way. The Grand Dragon is awkwardly positioned for us. The Hunchback is going to move in. That's okay.
Good to go.
Our archer can move somewhere like here. This does not have LOS on that railgun turret, which is exactly what we want. We want no LOS out over there. So we should be able to eliminate these mechs pretty quickly. The Grand Dragon moves, and it positioned here.
Waiting for orders.
Sure. I'm going to take the Grasshopper out over right next to it.
Out. Full speed.
And we'll position it there.
Let's do this.
The Rifleman here, I'm going to place here.
On my way.
And we'll brace that. Okay. Now they're moving that Marauder, which is expected. Okay. That looks absolutely fine. The Epimetheus, I want to move out over this direction. We're going to need to eliminate these mechs probably before we focus on the turrets. This UAC turret is not turbo scary. Although, I mean, could do potentially 150 damage, but it would be spread out. And that heavy command bunker, yeah, we'll get rid of those turrets relatively swiftly, I think. So now the Jaeger moves. That's fine. Our Nidhogg, I would kind of like to send out over this direction. We'll start accelerating it. We have a good view of the outpost, yes. Our employers claims to have softened them up a bit. Yes, we know that there are turrets, Darius. You don't have to tell us.
Commander. You need to secure the area before you can proceed.
Why are you telling me that, Darius? There are enemy contacts. We know this. We haven't engaged them yet. Okay, so the Marksman SPG is going to back off over here for now.
On my way.
And we're going to put our Devastator up over this way, in this flank.
On the move. Full speed.
There we go. And finally, the Black Knight probably is going to move over to engage this Hunchback out over here. And then our Marauder, I kind of want to have that be in position to continue to help the Grand Dragon, but we'll put it about here. That should be okay. And then the Jerry-Rig Demolisher is going to head out this direction to continue to fight these three. We're just using this hill to our advantage at this moment. Okay, so spawn protection has been removed. This command bunker is going to be difficult to hit. There's no doubt about that. And they end up moving their Grand Dragon first. So what are they going to do with it? I don't care about that.
Stop. You're just embarrassing yourself.
You're not wrong. That was very embarrassing for that Grand Dragon. Very, very embarrassing indeed. The Hunchback could potentially do something here. Okay. I mean, it only does 60 damage to the Rifleman there. We were covered and guarded, so no real problem there. First mover is our crossbow, and the crossbow is really wanting to head out over this direction and start engaging these turrets. Now, there's that railgun turret there, the Calliope as well. The UAC is almost certainly the one we want to hit here. That said, we have reasonable hit odds on that heavy command bunker, but let's see about taking down this UAC turret. I don't think we destroy it here, but we soften it up.
Giving them everything I've got.
Laser AMS is noted. It's not very effective, though. Okay, so Phase 19, they move their Marauder and their Jaeger. Well, that was rude.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
Okay, so he backstabbed our crossbow. They just rolled ahead of us, and that's fine. They didn't actually do any serious damage there. We'll just have to protect our crossbow. So next up is going to be this Marauder. It moves up. It might go... Oh, it's going for the Devastator. Okay, we're fine. So no real issues there. So next up, we are going to
Got my
move our
attention.
crossbow. And the crossbow is going to want to get in behind this Jaeger. We do not want to turn our back to this turret, so we're going to have to take this side arc over here. Not necessarily ideal, but this leg is pretty wounded. We have saved MRM ammo there. Okay. We'll just attack the Jaeger here.
To hell with the weapons.
Successful physical attack. Significant internal damage there, ER large laser
That
destruction,
was a
and a
critical
head
hit,
hit.
lad.
And this mech is now unsteady. Okay, so that looks good. Next up is going to be our Black Knight. I'm going to move the Black Knight out over here. The danger here is we don't want to have LOS from this railgun turret, right? So we might not actually want to rear arc attack the Marauder. We may want to come over and hit the Hunchback in the rear arc instead. And that is what I'm going to do. The Marauder we may have to just attack with our actual weapons because I don't want to risk exposing ourselves to that railgun. Those railguns are very painful. So significant damage dealt to that Hunchback.
I think I hit something good.
Unfortunately, we didn't one-shot it. We were not even all that close. We hit that arm pretty heavily, which is not ideal. Okay, so next up, the Grand Dragon is here, the Jaeger is here. I think we move in and finish off the Hunchy here with our Marauder. Seems pretty free, to be honest. So successful melee there, and this Hunchback is turbo down. There we go. -1 Hunchback.
Enemy down.
So the Hunchy is gone, and
What can I
next
do
up
for
is
ya?
our Archer. The Archer could back off here, or it could remain in its current position and hit that Marauder. Why are these hit odds low? Is this minimum range? Yeah, that's minimum range. Okay. So we could do it that way. We could sprint it back, but that doesn't get us covered. The other option is to leave the Archer where it's at, turning it like so, and then firing at this heavy UAC turret to eliminate that turret. And that's the choice I'm going to take. So -1 turret. Excellent.
Bye-bye.
So that looks great.
How's it
Next
going?
up is our Rifleman, and the Rifleman did take that CT hit there. I want the Rifleman to move and attack the Grand Dragon. We're going to do this from the rear arc, and this is not exactly the Rifleman's forte, but they spawned awkwardly directly inside of us. So, you know, here we are. We managed to successfully melee the Grand Dragon. Not the finest melee attack hit there, but I mean, it's a Rifleman. What do you expect?
How's it going?
The SPG could absolutely attack the Marauder here, but instead, I kind of want to hit the railgun turret and start softening up that armor. So let's do that.
Engaging.
Okay, decent damage to that railgun turret.
Standing by.
Next up is our jerry-rig demolisher, and that could take a side arc out over here. We're actually not seeing... We're not seeing LOS on that railgun turret out over here. We'd have to go about here for that. Okay. Move into rear arc on this Marauder out to about here or so. Maybe like here. Or here. Substructed LOS. Wondering about this spot. Yes. Here. And we're going to fire rear arc on this guy. I'm going to fire the eye rockets just because we are going to want to not have this. This Marauder is pure energy. Oh, okay, yeah. Absolutely fire the eye rockets. Hit odds aren't the best, but let's see what we've got. We penetrated the armor there. And we did a fair amount of damage there. We took out 2 double heat sinks as well.
Short-range missiles are out.
Yeah, that could have gone better, but I'm going to take the Devastator out into this same rear arc. And we're going to
On my
position
way.
it here.
Double time.
And we're going to fire on this Marauder again.
Firing all weapons.
Sadly, we missed both AC-20s there, but the Marauder's gone. So that's excellent. All that's left now is the Grand Dragon and the Jaeger. So that seems good. The Epimetheus can position in... This would be a side arc here. Is this side arc? It is. Okay, I'm just thinking here about what directionality we can hit this Jaeger from. I think our best bet is side arc on the Grand Dragon, to be honest. So I'm going to position the Epimetheus here. And we're going to fire side arc in over here. Just softening up that Grand Dragon quite heavily. And there he goes. SRM ammo explosion. I didn't expect him to die there, but sure, we'll happily take that. Okay, so they're firing on the Nidhogg.
Internal structure damage.
That's reasonably expected. The next mover is our Grasshopper, and the Grasshopper is going to head up over this direction. We're in a kind of awkward position to fire on the Jaeger, but hit odds are good enough that I'm going to take this.
Punching all the buttons.
I think we might have auto-cannoned our Rifleman there,
Cobra strikes.
which would be very awkward indeed.
In that location.
I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, that's very awkward because we had a 93% hit chance there. I guess we hit something, but I'm going to move the Nidhogg out over here. And we are going to drop our bombs on this railgun turret. I want this railgun turret to cease to exist. We're going to burn all of our ammo on it. There might be more enemies still, but we are going to absolutely eliminate this railgun turret. Kaboom. We also may have destroyed the base's building a little bit. I'm sure it'll be okay. Our employers aren't going to care about that, right? Okay, so they're continuing to fire on our Nidhogg. This is fully expected. We managed to AMS a fair amount there. And next up is our Crossbow X, which is actually in a good position here to continue to hit this Jaeger, and we're going to do exactly that. Right in that weakened side arc. Wow, we can't see anything here. This is a terrible camera angle. I have no idea what's happening, but that is horrible. Okay, the Jaeger is gone. Good.
Battle mech down.
So, next up is going to be the Archer. And the Archer is just going to step slightly forward here. We can fire on the Heavy Command Bunker or on the Hardened Calliope, and the Hardened Calliope is the obvious choice here.
Here we go!
Okay, so we just chipped down the armor on that Calliope a little bit. The Marauder at this point wants to get LOS on something, and it doesn't get it.
On my way. Double time.
I'm a little surprised we don't have LOS on that Heavy Command Bunker, but okay. I think one hex forward and we would have. So I'm going to position our Nidhogg about here. And we're going to continue to hit that Hardened Calliope.
Firing on target.
Really? We missed that? That was a 99.1% chance. Sad. Okay. Well, the Marksman SPG at this point is going to drop its artillery on the Heavy Command Bunker. We want to soften that. It's hard to hit, but that was 43 damage to it, so we'll take it. Next up is our Epimetheus, and the Epimetheus can position here and pot shot at that Heavy Command Bunker. This is actually pretty good hit odds, and we're going to take that. 90 damage into it. Nice. And triggering his AMSs as well.
Let's go.
Looks good.
I'm starting to cook.
So the Grasshopper is going to move up here. It does not manage to get LOS. The crossbow can position here. And good hit odds on this Heavy Command Bunker. Okay, we're succeeding in hitting this quite a lot. I like it, even with its stealth. Failing our sensor roll, and we still have 74% hit chance. I like it. Okay, so we're going to hit that Heavy Command Bunker. We penetrated the armor, but only just.
Reporting critical hit.
Okay. Next up is going to be our Black Knight. The Black Knight could actually position out over here. And from here, we have LOS on that Hardened Calliope. Light him up.
Confirmed.
Decent damage to it. Not phenomenal, but definitely chipping down that armor a little bit. Next up is the Rifleman, and the Rifleman doesn't get an LOS, so I'm just going to step it forward, like so. They sensor locked our crossbow. And then barraged our Epimetheus and dropped mines in this area.
Ready for orders.
Noted. I'm not happy about it, but I'm noted. Let's move our Devastator up over here. We can pot shot at this Hardened Calliope. Pretty decent hit odds as well.
Engaging target.
Wow, okay. Those were some terrible AC-20 shots. Next up would be our Jerry-Rig Demolisher, and that is going to position right up over here. We'll continue to fire that Hardened Calliope. Much better hit odds here. Yeah, over 100 additional damage into the Hardened Calliope. That's what we want to see. Now they're going to fire at the Demolisher. That does a fair amount of damage to it, but for the moment it's fine.
Well done.
Okay.
Here we go.
So next up is
my
our
attention.
crossbow X. I want the crossbow X to get out of here. Up over here or up over here. We'll go here.
Roger that.
Okay. So we'll fire on this heavy command bunker. I'm going to use improved MRM-20s.
Roger.
I want this thing gone. There we go.
For House Arano.
Looks good.
Target destroyed.
Okay. Next unit moving is our Marauder. I'd like to take the Marauder out this way. This is a fair number of mines, but that's understood. Remote sensor mines. That didn't actually do damage to our legs, I don't think. Maybe it did. I didn't see it pop up, so it didn't do, like, floating damage.
Yes.
Well,
give
that's
them
more damage to
everything
the
you've
hardened
got.
Calliope. That thing has a lot of hit points, though. Okay, next up is our Epimetheus. The Epimetheus really needs to move, like, this way. The barrage is going to be very awkward, right? So the landmines exploded. Yeah, they're definitely doing some damage there. But the Epimetheus is just going to park there for now.
Bye.
The crossbow X is going to head up over this direction.
Understood.
And we're going to fire at this hardened Calliope. This will end the hardened Calliope.
It's go time.
There we go.
Turret destroyed.
So that looks good. And next up
Waiting
is
for
our
orders.
archer. We need to move the archer out of the barrage area.
Got it.
There we go.
Let's
The
do
rifleman needs to get out of the barrage area as well, so we can position that right up over
this. No
here.
shooting, just running.
And the
I'm ready.
grasshopper can get out of there as well.
Oh,
And
throttle.
now the only unit in the barrage area is the Black Knight. Okay, so that looks good. Phase 14
That will be
is
done.
our Devastator, which I'm going to move up to here.
Daniel.
The
Receiving
Nidhogg can move into the capture zone, but I'm pretty sure it can't
on the
capture.
move.
So that's fine. And next would be our marksman. I'm just going to guarantee that that's out of the barrage
Moving
zone.
out.
There we go.
I'm
And
here.
the Black Knight will exit the barrage zone
Alright,
out over
yeah.
here. Okay. So the barrage is going to end up hitting our Epimetheus. There's nothing we can do about that. But we can put our jerry-rig demolisher up over here. There goes that barrage.
Commander, you've got hostile contacts inbound.
Okay. So additional enemies are coming in here. That Epimetheus took very little damage from that barrage, but we'll just have to exit that area. Okay, so what do they have? We see a Zeus, a Harris Hawk, an Avatar, and a Gauss Nidhogg. Okay. They're going to probably focus on our vehicles up over here. And unfortunately, they get to move basically instantly. We did actually capture it with the Nidhogg, which surprises me. We weren't able to do that before. So that's definitely interesting. Okay. The Nidhogg goes for the Grasshopper, but importantly, it didn't move. So that's a very big deal. That Nidhogg did not move there. Phase 25 is a Zeus, moving very early for a Zeus. And it just didn't do anything. It didn't move, it didn't fire. Okay.
Receiving you.
So the crossbow is going to head up over here. A dropship is inbound to that location. That must be our evac
Copy
point.
that.
We're going to fire on this Nidhogg. It's got AMS, but we're going to start to take down that AMS.
Affirmative.
Beautiful. So 17 from 40 hit by AMS. Next up is going to be
Orders.
our crossbow X. The crossbow X is not in the best of shape, but its
All in
frontal
behind
armor is doing kind of okay. We can fire on this Nidhogg, and once again, the primary purpose of this is not necessarily to damage the Nidhogg. We are looking to eliminate the Nidhogg's AMS.
Confirmed.
But we did get some decent damage on the Nidhogg there. So that looks good.
Yeah.
Next up is our Epimetheus. Now, the Epimetheus needs to exit this area,
On my
but
way.
it's in some... It's a little bit stricken. We can fire our MRMs at the Nidhogg, though, and continue to trigger its AMS, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We get a couple of hits in there. And I believe its AMS is actually fully triggered at this point. Mine's up over here. Okay, noted. So we're going to fire with the Marauder on the Nidhogg. The Nidhogg can't really stop this. We were hoping to hit the tag. I think we did.
Onward. No retreat.
Did we... And they're going to move their avatar now. Did we successfully tag the Nidhogg there? I'm not sure that we did, actually. Okay. So let's see what the avatar decides to do. Moves up over here. Fires on our crossbow. It gets some okay clustering on the right side
under
there.
heavy fire.
Okay, that's reasonably fine. So next up is going to be our Devastator. Now, I'd like to move the Devastator somewhere up over here. We want to protect this left side here. So that means that we want it to be facing like this.
Roger that.
Okay, that'll be fine. We can fire on the Zeus, we could fire on the Harris Hawk, we could fire on the Nidhogg. Hit odds are best on the Zeus, so I'm going to take this shot.
Firing on target.
Not the best firing there, but it's okay.
Yes, Commander.
So next up is the Rifleman, and the Rifleman is going to be just kind of pot-shotting from cover out over here.
Coordinates received.
We're probably going to fire on the Nidhogg here. I would love to see that Nidhogg get shot down. Okay, we got a couple of hits there. That frontal armor on the Nidhogg is not doing well. So the Archer is next. The Archer does actually have direct fire LOS out over here, which mildly surprises me. That's on that Harris Hawk. Okay. Hit odds are best on the Harris Hawk. So I guess we'll take that shot. We could shoot this down, and I mean, it would be good to do so. Okay. So we did a decent amount of damage to it there. Next up is the Black Knight, and the Black Knight is out over on this same side.
Onward.
I would probably prefer to fire at the Harris Hawk again here if the hit odds were decent. They're not. So we're going to fire on the Zeus instead.
Firing on target.
And we got a decent amount of armor reduction there.
Go time.
Looks good. Next up is our Nidhogg.
Good to
And the
go.
Nidhogg is going to head out to about here or so. And we're going to continue to hit this Zeus. Light him up.
Roger that. Target confirmed.
Okay, so decent side arc damage on that Zeus. Then we have our Grasshopper. The Grasshopper is probably out of range to do anything too significant. We'll move it up over here. We can pot shot the AC-20 at the Nidhogg or at the Zeus. I'm going to take the shot at the Nidhogg, actually. Yeah. I'm going to take the shot at the Nidhogg.
Target acquired.
We missed. Sad. The Nidhogg is getting to the point where it's
Damage.
really close to dead. Okay, so next up, we have our Marksman SPG. We can position that here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to fire on the Nidhogg with the Sniper Artillery in flak mode.
Let's see how you like this.
And we did some damage to the Nidhogg there. We exposed the structure, but what we didn't do is shoot it down. Next up, we have Jammer in the Jerry-Rig Demolisher. The Jerry-Rig Demolisher is doing okay. I'm going to position it here for 6 evasive.
Roger.
And we're also going to fire it on the Nidhogg here. Looking for crits, looking for whatever we can get. And we got, like, nothing out of that. Okay. That is really, really sad. That means that the Nidhogg is probably going to get to move. The Harris Hawk is also a bit of a concern here. We need to keep that in mind. It's still got the weapons bay and the guided bombs. So unfortunately, we weren't able to take down any of those this round. The Zeus is going to move back and fire on our crossbow. It gets a fair amount of damage done there. The bigger problem here is the instability,
showing
and we
minor
don't get to
damage.
move that until phase 20. So next up is going to be their Harris Hawk, and we do have a phase 24 mover, but they move very early. So let's see what the Harris Hawk does here. It goes for a Marauder with just a laser. Okay, that's a misuse of that. It should have absolutely gone for, like, our Jerry-Rig Demolisher. Actually, probably our Devastator there.
Talk to me.
So the Crossbow X is going to step forward, and the goal of the Crossbow X here is eliminate the Nidhogg before it can be used again. This should be pretty much dead here. And there we go.
I'll break him in two.
So the Nidhogg is out of here. We
One
don't have
less
to worry about that anymore. The Harris Hawk already fired, so that
Yes,
seems good.
Commander.
The Marauder is going to step up over here, checking hit odds. It's probably best on the Zeus. But I'm going to shoot at the Harris Hawk here. I'd like to get that shot down. mediocre hits at best there. Okay. So next up is the Black Knight. That's going to step forward out over here. We can fire on any of these. I'm going to fire at the Harris Hawk again. I want this thing gone. I'm going to fire in X2 binary laser mode.
Firing.
And there we go. The Harris Hawk is out of here, so that's perfect. Now there's 2 enemies left, and they're both mechs.
Tango down.
So, we definitely took some excess damage there, but that's not too bad. I do want the crossbow to step up to about here. Checking these hit odds, Avatar is not the greatest. We're better off firing at the side arc of the Zeus. So let's soften that guy up. Okay, how much did that soften? Actually, that was a pretty good cluster shot in that torso. I like it.
Yep.
Next up would be the Epimetheus, and this does have sensors here, but that's expected. We're pretty out of range. Avatar is the best hit odds, so we'll soften it a bit, but I don't expect too much out of that. That was actually pretty good. We got a number of hits out of that one. Yeah, almost 100 damage. Not bad. So now they're moving something that we don't know about? That must be a UAV. Battle armor. BA tag. That's a battle armor that we don't know about. Okay.
Commander?
Noted. The Devastator is going to head up over here and see if we can find that battle armor.
Understood. Moving fast.
We do not find it yet. Checking hit odds. We are best off to attack the Avatar. This is a front arc attack. We missed both autocannons again. Oof. Okay. Well, it's not the end of the world, but that Avatar didn't take as much damage as we would have liked. The Avatar will move now, and what's it going to do? Move forward and attack our Devastator? Most likely. It should actually... Oh, yeah, it's going to go for the left side here. That's a misplay on my part. Oh, it went for the crossbow instead. Okay, that's a misplay on their part.
Losing lots of armor.
They could have destroyed the Devastator there. But okay, sure.
Good to go.
The Archer is going to look for some sort of LOS. It doesn't get it, so it's probably just going to sprint up over
Got it.
here.
Back speed,
And we'll just
no
lob some
shooting.
indirect missiles. 14.7% versus 0.9. Yeah, we'll take the Zeus. So that'll be some softening up in that already weakened side arc. Looks good. And next up will be our Rifleman. The Rifleman does actually get an LOS on the Zeus here, so we'll take that shot.
Here we go.
We hit one of those PPCs. Okay, that's fine. We're still quite far away, and the Nidhogg can move up over this way. We can go for the rear arc on this Zeus or on the Avatar. How weak is the Avatar's armor? The Avatar's rear arc is pretty weak. So is the Zeus's. Hit odds are actually a little bit better on the Avatar. Okay, I'm going to go for an Arrow 4 out over this way. Actually, an AGM. We could destroy the Avatar in theory with this attack. It would be reliant on getting good hits, but we did. There we go. So the Avatar's out of here. I like it. That's basically a one-shot of the Avatar. So the Grasshopper is going to move up to about here,
Roger that.
and we're going to fire on this Zeus. Only 32% hit odds, but we'll take it.
Locked on target.
And we actually succeeded. Was that in that torso or the arm? Actually, that was in CT. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. So the Marksman SPG at this point wants to, of course, fire on the Zeus. And we're going to do this in artillery mode.
Engaging target.
Ooh, that was a nice hit. That was a really good hit. So that Zeus is in a lot of danger right now. The Jerry-Rig Demolisher is going to position right here in ideal range. There's that battle armor, by the way. It is located... Maybe that isn't... Wait. What? It's floating? Oh, it's a UAV. It is a UAV. That's not a battle armor at all. Okay. Light up the Zeus. The Zeus is the primary target here for sure.
Mess them up.
We got an LBX-20 lead slug ammo explosion, which is really solid there. When does the Zeus move? Phase 24.
Let's go.
Okay, that is noted. He does still have LBX ammo. Okay,
Waiting for
so the
orders.
crossbow is going to step up over here, and we are absolutely going to hit this Zeus. We could take him down here. And there he goes. Dropship inbound for landing.
Target eliminated.
And yes,
I'm out
we
of
deliberately
LRM.
did not stand where the dropship was going to be landing. The outpost is under our control. Okay, apparently we don't have to kill the UAV.
Mission successful.
I was planning to kill the UAV, but we don't have to. It's strange to me that a UAV had a battle armor weapon, but okay, whatever. I guess that's absolutely fine. So that wasn't too bad, all things considered. I really like the flexibility of our artillery. That SPG, I think, is really, really useful. So that's absolutely great. We did make 1.4 million C-bills out of that, which is probably not the best. But we didn't take all that much damage. There was some, to be sure. What are we interested in terms of parts here? ER medium laser, LBX AC-20, Delta LRM-20, actually. That's probably not too bad. We could definitely use that. A light engine as well and an XL engine. I'm going to drop the LBX AC-20 and we're going to grab that engine XL. We don't have an XL engine and that will increase our flexibility for future builds. And heavy Pharaoh, ooh. I'm going to take that over the LRM-20. Maybe we get those out of the roulette, but I want to guarantee these. Okay, so generic armor, cockpit basic, FCS standard, AC-5 ammo, and tandem MRM ammo. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Tandems are through armor, so we'll keep that around for sure. That looks good. So I don't expect this to be too bad for repairs. We might even be able to deploy yet this month, which would be really, really nice. I think we probably will. The crossbow took some relatively hefty damage, but that was mostly rear arc where there isn't that much armor anyway. So I think it's okay. I don't think there's any major issue there. I don't think we even received a crit, if I recall correctly. So Yang should be able to repair everything, I believe. We'll double check that after he finishes his repairs, of course, but I believe that to be the case. 150k and 19 days? Do it, Yang. That seems absolutely great. So at this point, we have 11 days until our financial report, and yeah, the Grasshopper is going to be the slowest in 5 days. 4 days, 4 days, 4 days, 1 day. Okay, so something like this. And with that, it is past time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to get these repairs done and continue feeling out how this new setup feels. It feels great so far. I'm very pleased with this SPG upgrade. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.